for the caregiver? To answer this and many other questions, Professor Michael Herbst, the head of health at the Cancer Association of South Africa, is here with us in studio. Professor, welcome and a very good morning to you.
Morning to you as well and to all the viewers.
Now, you represent a group of people which is very special, and that is caregivers.
Well, that's wonderful to hear, because we have a theme every year. And this year we decided that it's high time that we look who is caring for the people who care for cancer patients. They're doing the most wonderful work, and they very often don't even get asked, do you want to be a caregiver? It lands on them. And they provide care to a spouse, to a child, to a friend, and sometimes even to people they do not know as volunteers.
What is the role of a caregiver, though?
Well, the role of the caregiver is to provide that type of support that the person cannot provide for themselves while they are in a critically ill state.
And is that only institutions, or could that be in any home for that?
Well, it can be in an institution, but most of caregiving takes place within the homes where the people are in bed and very, very sick.
Do you have to have a special degree, a special schooling to become a caregiver, or what?
Compassion.
Aha.
Compassion, love for your neighbor, and those are the qualities.
There is something like burnout, though, when you're a caregiver.
Absolutely.
What is that? And they also call it compassion fatigue to a certain degree as well.
Absolutely, and that is why we have this special week. We're asking, who's taking care of the caregivers? We've got to watch those people. You know that they give so much of themselves, so selfless, that they neglect their own health very often. They don't sleep as often as they should. They work extended hours. We have heard of caregivers who will go from home to home and will have a 16 and 18-hour day of giving care to different people in different homes. And we've got to make sure that those people don't burn out, and it can happen so easy.
But how do we identify it, though? If a person is a caregiver, how do you do that?
Ill health in the caregiver, him or herself, is a very good sign. Getting a little bit edgy, getting annoyed very quickly, getting tired, they're not sleeping well, and they neglect themselves totally. They won't even go and have a glass of water because they say, what will happen to my patient in the minute or two that I am away to go and satisfy my own needs?
And how does one prevent that, though, as a caregiver? Or somebody knowing that that a caregiver is looking after somebody that you know?
It takes people like us to keep on saying to caregivers, thank you for the work you're doing, but please, I notice this, I notice that. Please take some time off. Take care of yourself. The loved one that you're caring for, they are expecting you to be there tomorrow and the day after. But if you're carrying on the way that you are now, you may not be available tomorrow and the day after. Please take care of yourself. And we must not be selfish and think, my loved one needs care, so the caregiver must be there all the time. We've got to have that same compassion towards the caregiver. They do it for free. They do it for the love of humanity.
And one would ask the question, why would somebody do it for free if they have to spend so much time and effort?
It shows the quality of people that we have. People who are keen and are available to say, somebody needs me, I'm available.
Now, Cancer is involved in a number of activities this week to help the caregivers. What sort of activities are you looking at?
We have the most beautiful activities taking place. In some of the areas, we've got over 60 offices throughout the country.
Yes.
And they all reported to head office what they're going to do. And some of the interesting things that are happening is that during the course of the week and continuing right up into Saturday, there will be special programs where some of the survivors will be present, and they are going to bring their caregivers with them, those that are mobile. And some of our areas, they've decided that the survivors will select the caregiver of the year amongst their group in their particular town, and they're going to give a prize to that people. Some of our offices are planning special dinners. Some are planning special television program shows for them. Some Bioscope will be taking them to the bioscope and we'll be entertaining them there and giving them some snacks and things like that. Special dinners, you name it. The people have come up with the most ingenious ideas.
It sounds like a wonderful initiative for the caregivers.
It is so great, and we can't wait to hear from our caregivers, because it's really the first year that we are specifically concentrating on our caregivers, and we really want to say to them, thank you, you are there, and we don't know how to say thank you really for all the wonderful work that you're doing.
Now, Professor, why is it so important to create this awareness about the caregiver and the cancer caregiver for that matter?
Because you and I don't know when we are going to be expected to be the next caregiver. You know, we're all vulnerable.
Or when we will become vulnerable for that matter.
That is right. We're all vulnerable, and we don't know when we are going to need a caregiver. So let's give our compassion and love and support to the caregivers now. Even though, thank God, will provide that we don't need that, but just in case.
And do you also have a Cancer Relay for Life activity? Tell me about that.
Absolutely. This is a most wonderful event that takes place right through the night, and it symbolizes the struggle that a cancer-diagnosed individual goes through. It becomes dark, it becomes night. And we have this relay of teams walking around the track right through the night. And what happens in the morning? The sun rises. So there is always hope. And this is what we signify with the Cancer Relay for Life. The first lap, all the survivors that are there will participate in the first lap around the track. And then we have a caregiver lap, where all the caregivers, we celebrate them, and they will walk once around the track. And then the teams fall in, and right through the night, there'll be one member of each team walking the track right through the night till the sun comes up. And we say there's always hope in the future for every cancer survivor.
Professor, just briefly, when is it starting, the activities for the week?
The activities for the week started on this last weekend.
Yes.
And as far as I know, some of the activities are continuing until Saturday. And I know of at least one office where it's continuing until Monday next week.
And people can join in from wherever they want and enjoy.
Contact your nearest cancer office. And if you want to get contact on our free line, it's 0800 6622 66.
662266.
Yes.
0800. Professor, thank you so much for your time, and
was
all the
lovely.
best of luck for you and cancer.
Thank you
for this
very
year.
much.
That was Professor Michael Herbst. He's the head of health at the Cancer Association of South Africa, Cancer. But we'll be back